Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real FERM podcast. Thank you so much for joining me once again here on this beautiful day of this beautiful week. Coming off the heels of lots of wild discussions, and then I've been doing solo for a while, but this time back with a guest that we haven't had on in a while. If you're new, hopefully you give a warm welcome to. And if you would have seen him if you peruse through the past episodes. But we're going to have a little discussion about the recent appearance of Billy Carson. I interrupt this program to acknowledge the mispronunciation throughout the remainder of the episode. It is Billy Carson, not Carlson. Apologies. Since he's kind of associated with Terrence Howard in a sort of a way. And, ancient civilizations, all that kind of weird stuff from a balanced, scientific background perspective, but open to entertaining, wild, absurd theories. Let's get into it.
Real FERM! He's the realest!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the couch, Rockstar Life, one word, three eyes.
Woo!
He's back in action.
I am.
It's been quite a few episodes since we last sat here on this couch.
Oh, yes, it has. You know, 2 men, 1 couch. What more could you want?
2 men, 1 couch. Last time we were in the back seat of the car talking about 2 men in the back seat of a car.
What could go wrong there?
Talking about the Kendrick Lamar J. Cole thing, which pretty much died down.
It's
right?
done. It's done. It
Thank
was
God.
the greatest night of hip hop history, but you know, as everything popped up, I was able to listen to everything as they released. It was amazing. It was fantastic, and it made me want to get my beef bag. But anyways,
So yeah, fully enjoyed for you. So if in case you haven't noticed, around this here program, I've been getting into the weeds of some wild theories.
What have you been getting into?
As you know what I've been getting into.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to pretend. Terrence Howard and all that. So the last time I was talking about aliens because of the linchpin, it's a whole fucking rabbit hole. I'm not going to reiterate it, but he has some technology about drones based off of his mathematical principle that 1 × 1 = 2, which is insane. But the way he described the drones that he was designing is this propulsion that is kind of similar to what UAP does in the sky. So that's why. So I made that jump, and then we went and talked about some alien. There's a lot of whistleblowers, military whistleblowers that continue to just go on the news, and be like, "This is wild."
Well, I always say, like, for those of you that are new and those of you that have been around, I call FERM. This is my favorite alien. Because he's literally an alien. Like, look at him. And the most beautiful way possible. Like, his voice is just so soothing.
So that's it's actually a point on that Billy Carson. It's funny that you say that, because Billy Carson is espousing that we are all aliens.
Oh, I believe it.
In fact, one of his main things is, and I've heard this before from other people, but he's like fully, he doesn't seem to talk about it like it's like some theory that he thinks might be true. He seems to fully believe it and depict it as absolute truth, I think. And the reason why he does that seems to be motivated by money.
There's always that.
Which we'll get into. But yeah, so Billy Carson made an appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast. I hadn't heard of him before. Have you heard of him before?
No, not at all.
Billy Carson, here he is. He's not an actor, unlike Terrence Howard.
He's a good-looking dude.
He's a good-looking, handsome African-American gentleman. He's the founder and CEO of Forbidden Knowledge, Inc., and the best-selling author of Compendium of Emerald Tablets. So basically, he actually had a similar origin, not the same with Terrence, but where he was like saying from an early age he was interested in like that things were, I don't know, just weird shit like that.
Did he say that his first memory was coming out the womb?
I don't believe he said that, but he was talking. He said he was in the episode. He was talking to Terrence Howard, not in the episode, but he mentioned like, oh yeah, we were chatting because Joe brought it up. He was like, Terrence Howard saying this, and this. But anyway, so his whole thing is he's got these tablets, or he doesn't have the tablets, but he's saying there's these tablets that people don't really like know exactly what they mean, but you can decipher them. They're written in like an ancient script, and it's all about the Anunnaki. You've heard of the Anunnaki?
Yeah.
It's all about the alien. There's alien races that engineered us as some sort of. I think the premise of it is gold, because they ran out of gold on their planet, and that's what they need to survive or something. So they had to find another.
Is that why my rent's so high? I was so good.
I mean, it could be. No, the gold thing is weird. It's like all this stuff reminds me of Scientology, to be honest. The whole thing where there's an alien race and then they come to Earth and fuck up the population, which is exactly what Lord Xenu does when he throws the aliens into the volcanoes and blows them up with hydrogen bombs, and the Thetan souls go into humans, and then that's where all of our problems come from.
The amount of information that you just said, was that in that South Park episode?
Yes, South Park did a full expose episode about Scientology. That is correct.
And we're in Clearwater, which is like the home.
Oh yes, that is true.
The home.
We are in
fucking
Clearwater, Florida, which is the home of the flagship headquarters of Scientology. I drive past it all the time. Every time we go to the beach, it's a beautiful building.
Have you ever seen them?
Yeah, they're always in like white
Yeah.
collared shirts and very strange.
You ever
Anyway,
seen their eyes? They're like scared.
Something's going on there. We don't want to know, and we're not going to get into it here.
I'm more scared of them than Illuminati. Anyways.
Well, no Illuminati here. This is the thing that, so just as my perspective of this whole concept of ancient civilizations, because a lot of people, it's very divided. There's either people who are fully into it, like Billy Carson,
Yeah.
or there's people that are like, have you heard of Flint Dibble?
No.
He debated Graham Hancock on Joe Rogan. Graham Hancock's the archaeologist. He's not an archaeologist. He's a journalist, filmmaker, who has the idea that the Younger Dryas some impact like destroyed Earth, which already had advanced civilizations on it.
I believe that.
Before us. Yeah, it's very believable. But so then and then there's people like Flint Dibble, who's like a real academic archaeologist, who's like, we don't have any evidence for that. Why are you saying this?
Yeah.
And then there's people like Joe Rogan and me who are like, I don't really know, but let's talk about it because it's interesting. So I'm on the side of this is fascinating, and I'm inclined to believe it because I don't know about the whole details he goes into, but yeah, the ancient civilizations thing. I believe we actually talked about it briefly in a very past episode.
Oh yeah, so
we probably brought
if
it
you
up.
look at the history of catastrophic extinction level events throughout history, if you look at the volcanoes, there's a bunch of meteor showers, there's tsunamis and everything like that. There's a whole bunch of evidence that support the fact that humans were around before these cataclysms.
I don't think. See, that's where the archaeologists say there isn't hard evidence. That's why
the Sphinx is one of them.
But they'll say that the academic community is very hard to budge on things.
Yeah.
But they only accept like actual empirical evidence, which is like something you can measure and something you can say definitively.
I disagree with you there because just specifically for the Sphinx.
Listen, I lean to the fact that is probably the case, and the pyramids were probably built by some higher intelligent
Yes.
species than the early humans. But I'm just saying the archaeologists, this is the
Yeah.
reason why these debates are happening, because the academics work all their lives to do all this research, and then someone like Graham Hancock gets famous for a theory, and Billy Carson, and they're like, fuck these guys, they're getting rich and famous off of saying theories that are not even proven. So that's where that all comes from, is what I'm saying.
Who's that guy? He was on JR actually, and he was like talking about like going to the Sphinx and everything like that, right? Not to like
It was probably Graham Hancock.
It might have been him, because he was like, all the people in like the field were like very like, no, well the Bible says it's there's only this old.
Oh, the Bible thing, that's a whole nother.
But the Sphinx is supposed to be older than what the Bible says, so they're like, it's not possible for it to be. I forget what it is. It's something along those lines.
Yeah,
But
well,
that's another thing.
the one thing about the Graham Hancock thing, which is evidence, like actual evidence, and I forgot what the exact refute. I think the archaeologists say we can't come to a conclusion based on that yet, just from the scientific method. But some of the sites like there's this Göbekli Tepe and all these weird, like with like very specific engravings and stuff, and it was like buried and they had to unearth it.
Yeah.
And they dated it back to like I might be wrong on this, but I think it was like before it was definitely way before they thought it was, or before the known what we knew as when humans were around.
Yeah.
Something like that. And so that's where Graham Hancock kind of goes off on. He's like, well, then what if this was the ancient? And then Billy Carson comes in and says, well, the evidence has been here this whole time on these tablets here. You can decipher them on the internet and come to the conclusion that the Anunnaki or some, I don't know if he holds firm on that particular race of people or entities, but he's fully he's like, they were here before us, or ancient, whatever. He believes they engineered humans he believes we're all aliens, we were engineered fully, which I feels, if I've never done psychedelics and never went into the depths of consciousness, I probably wouldn't believe any of this, wouldn't even want to believe any of this stuff. But the only reason why I like to entertain these things is because of the spiritual, mystical experiences I've had, where it's like you feel something feels like something way deeper is going on.
Yeah. I like to look at everything as like everything has a little bit of truth in it, right? So if you look at like, for instance, I'm a Christian, if you look at the Bible, what happens when Eve takes a bite of the apple?
She's cursed. She curses the human race to be sinful or something.
Yeah, pretty much, and they get kicked out of
the Garden of Eden. Yeah.
So when they get kicked out, I mean, could the Garden of Eden just be another planet? And then we're over here? Because if you look around, right? So let's go a little deeper on it, right? I firmly believe that we are aliens. We are the aliens. We are the dominant species on this planet.
Yeah.
And of course, they say evolution and everything like that takes a whole bunch of time, but evolution goes off in many different ways. Like if you look at, we all come from like a certain microbe. I forget what it's really called.
Yeah,
But if you look at how our cognizance is, and we're like, all right, cool. Now that we're able to survive, we can actually thrive and go. Which is, if you look at like apes, which is supposed to be our actual like distant relative and everything like that.
The closest one.
Yeah. So they get tools. Like there's like videos that came out like a month ago of like zoos where like
they're saying they're entering the Stone Age.
They're entering the Stone Age and everything like that. So, but that's not in a giant way.
That
like
takes millions of years.
Yeah, and if you look at how all these different societies, these pyramids are coming up in like the perfect exact placement of the planet without any communication.
Billy gets into a lot.
It is just like there's no such thing as coincidence. Why can't we go into the pyramids?
I don't know, but let's not go too deep on that.
So Billy Carson, is that something along the lines of what Billy Carson was saying?
Yes, he's fully into that. What you brought up that reminded me of something that always that I pontificate about is the evolution thing of, because people want like the technological boom of like the information age, and like all of a sudden technology is just ramping up exponentially, and then some people like to say, where did all this Wi-Fi and fiber optics come from? The aliens gave it to us, or they gave it to the government, and then the government found out about it. And I don't necessarily believe that, but it is a strange thing to think about, how evolution of biology takes millions and hundreds of millions of years to make any significant progress. But when you start fucking with the technology, it can go
super
within
fast.
100 years. We're in a different society.
Super.
And it's fucked our brains up because we're not ready for it.
My family is in the IT business, so like they do computers all the time, and I grew up building computers, and I still never like fully understand like how that all works. So you're saying you take this piece and you melt it into here.
I understand all that, and that's why I don't think aliens deposited technology. You can figure out how to do those things once you learn about quantum mechanics, which was discovered in the late 19th century and early 20th century. And then transistors came about because we realized that everything isn't just a little ball that's rolling around. It's actually, it goes deeper. But anyway, where are we going with that?
Something about Billy Carson.
Yeah, so let's go back to Billy Carson. So, here's the thing that I shout out to Podcast Cringe, the channel that which I would probably on if I was a lot bigger for that Terrence Howard episode. He pulled up the Billy Carson one and called him like the huge grifter and whatever. So I didn't know this when I watched the Billy Carson episode. I didn't know who he was, whatever. And he's talking about all the stuff that interests me, like ancient civilizations, and then the gold thing, and why do we love gold so much? Because the aliens need us to mine it for them, the Anunnaki, whatever. And then you go to his website, which is what Podcast Cringe like brought to everyone's attention. It's all like marketing books about how to unlock your inner and literal like colloidal silver solutions, like stuff you take, tonics for. That is not at all scientifically proven to work.
He's the liver king of the conspiracy theories.
Yes, and his Instagram is all like Bentleys and stuff. Like,
oh fuck, he's liver king mixed with Andrew Tate.
Yeah. What's interesting is because Terrence Howard was already famous and rich.
Yeah.
Before he starts going public with all of his wild theories, this guy seems to have kind of leaned into it to profit off of, which really loses respect for me. Because with the Terrence Howard thing, I was like, this guy's so crazy. Surely he's trying to make money off of this, and I didn't really find a way that his website there's nothing about, because he's already got movie money, Marvel money. So, but this guy, I mean, he's not educated. He's mild. I don't know exactly his education, but
I do feel like, real quick on Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
I do feel like he's not headed in the wrong direction. His delivery and like a lot of the things that he says, like 1 + 1 = 3 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Those things are wrong, but I do agree with that portion where he's like, you have to rethink mathematics.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was my whole like final takeaway from him is, I like the way he thinks. It's very scientific to challenge the norm and say, hey, this might be wrong. Let's try something else, and maybe we can get further. But he's gone too fast, too ahead of his time. If he's correct, then he's far too ahead of his time, or he's just he's a very bright guy, wild ideas, but yeah. But he's not. He doesn't seem to be profiting off of it. This guy, Billy Carson, is selling things like a madman on his website about forbidden knowledge, which is because there's so many people interested in this. You go on Joe Rogan, and then everyone's like, "I want to learn about forbidden." Oh, that's the other thing. The whole and it's in common with Terrence Howard too, and Podcast Cringe Guy talked about this, was they both believe that all secrets of the universe and all knowledge is within you, because that was something that was written in the tablets by the Anunnaki or whatever. And like he was saying, all you have to do is unlock your inner self or whatever, to become the best you. Hold on. And that's why, so he starts selling these things. But what's interesting is it kind of like the answers to life are pretty much in you. It's called DNA. It's programmed by nature to if we understood DNA in all that we could possibly understand it, I'm sure we would know a lot more than we do now, but that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
But his whole thing is, and Terrence says the same thing, where it's like we all have, there's a kernel of truth there, but he's marketing it, which starts to become problematic in an ethical standpoint.
Someone's marketing. So Billy Carson is basically marketing every thought and feeling you have on an acid trip, but to sober people.
Yeah.
Because you really do feel like you know, like everything. Oh
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of agree with that statement. It's just not that simple.
No.
It's not as simple as taking some colloidal silver or whatever the fuck and studying ancient tablets.
Take these essential oils real quick.
Yeah, that are very expensive.
Oh, so he's a snake oil salesman.
Yeah, pretty much. He is indeed that type of person.
Oh my! I'm curious on how much his fees are to
you
find
the go?
truth. Because for like information, right? If you were really trying to say, "Hey, this is the truth," you wouldn't try to monetize it. You know what I mean? You'd be like, "Hey, this is the thing that's going on." As many people like do the Snowden thing. Here you go.
Well, here's to a certain extent, because just like in any business, even if you have a great idea, you don't need to maximize profit, but you still have to, you can't just dedicate your life to something and not make a living, because you need to support yourself.
True.
The problem is
it delegitimifies.
It's going into this level. This is his website, Forbidden Knowledge. So it's all, and then this is the sketchiest thing featured on all these things. I've literally seen this on the most scammy websites. I don't know how people are allowed to use these, featured on Forbes and whatever. But so he has his own TV channel, like streaming channel.
So he's like one of those churches.
It's a subscription. Yes, that's a good connection. He's like a preacher of hidden knowledge and ancient civilizations. But so that's basically what he was selling on the Joe Rogan Experience. He's like, go to my website, you can subscribe to Forbidden Knowledge TV, get all this thing, and then you go to his shop, Forbidden Shop. And we've got books. So look at the health one. Health. Alchemical Elixir of the Anunnaki. Starfire Gold. Liquid or 10% off. Join us. Liquid Ormes. 8 ounce and colloidal silver 8 ounce. 1 free month of Forbidden Knowledge TV. $84.95.
Jesus Christ.
And then more of the same. And an anti-balding hair bundle. Reverse balding. Hey. Look at that. Maybe you need to buy some Billy Carson anti-balding.
If you're just listening, I'm bald.
It's 150. Good point. I forgot to acknowledge the listeners. Thank you for tuning in. Rate and review on Spotify and Apple, please. Thank you. Anti-balding hair bundle. Reverse balding. Grow and glow.
So
I wonder.
This is his bath water.
He's got a whole commercial. I really hope. What is in it? Flaxseed oil, avocado oil, castor oil, and a special, unique blend of essential oils. So it's fully natural, which nothing natural helps you regrow your hair.
That's special, unique. I don't like that. That reminds me of Red 40 or natural flavors.
Wait a second.
Not actually natural.
Quantum devices, high energy energizer water W3. 300 watts, $800. What is this? Sorry, I did not prepare for discovering this.
I think the Liver King actually uses some of these products. I'm not even playing with you, because isn't there a anti 4G thing in there, where you put your phone in there?
Oh, the conspiracy, that kind of thing. Maybe I don't know, but I don't know. I want to know what this is. Suited for single multifamily houses, the W300 can be used universally. Another advantage: assemble in 5 minutes. No intervention in the piping system required. No. Energizes unlimited amounts of water and gives the water back its natural energetic structure and much more. What?
So it has a bunch of microbes in it.
What?
It would need a bunch of
For
microbes.
800? No, I don't think he's talking about anything physical. He's saying like there's like mystical energy that the water has lost.
Yeah.
So he's also got the grounding shoes which isn't even. This is all pseudoscientific stuff.
Use your bare
it's not
fucking feet.
Yeah, that too. If you believe in grounding,
wanna
use your bare
connect to the
feet. That's the
planet?
best way. Well, they say, the grounding shoes are extra conductive, so it gives you more.
Oh,
of it.
suck me.
Only for $49.95, you can have that extra conductivity of Earth electron transfer.
Exactly. Find me at Only Toes. Anyways, so
So yeah, he's definitely a massive grifter. I've lost a lot of respect for him. One
scam
side.
artist.
At first, I thought he was cool. Talking because I like these kinds of topics to like entertain and think about. But then once podcast cringe, because I didn't bother going to his website. I should have just off of curiosity. But he's the one that was like, if you go to his website, I was like, oh, let me check it out. Oh boy, yeah. So it goes deeper than.
You know what this reminds me of?
Biohack.
He reminds me of one of those guys. It's like,
Oh, it's a lie.
if you buy my PDF book,
Yes.
you will be able to pick up any chick in the world.
He does. He has.
Like, I feel like he's one of those types of guys.
There is.
How much are his books, by the way?
Hold on. What you just said. So, on his YouTube channel, there's a thing, the Millionaire's Mindset Blueprint. Like he's that kind of guy. Yeah. And he just happens to be fascinated with forbidden knowledge.
I am also fascinated with forbidden knowledge. However, that ain't bad.
The books are
That ain't
normal.
bad. That ain't bad.
He knows you can't rip people off with books because they know it's
Yeah.
just text.
But from what I've seen, like he literally, have you ever seen those commercials where it's like, hey, if you want to talk to, get any girl's phone number,
100%.
all that jazz. This is what it
rich.
reminds me of.
Mad rich off that.
Like he just reminds me of that. Like I get he has books. His books are cheap, but I bet you in those books, because if you actually are reading it.
Well, I think these are all like the universe, the ancient alien
But
shit.
I bet you in those books, in some of those chapters, and in some
About
paragraphs somewhere, it's like, you need to use this thing that I also sell
perhaps,
on the
yeah.
thing.
I would not be surprised, yeah. Wow,
Wait. Forbidden travel.
There's a lot more than I thought on here. It's all a Shopify
Oh,
store,
actually,
as
that
you
doesn't
can
look
see.
bad.
Yeah, it's just
That doesn't look bad.
Those are just like he has like just some clothing line
That's not
stuff.
bad.
The Godly Project. Oh, just like a special T-shirt. Okay, well, so that's
It's
Billy
very nice
Carlson.
Squarespace.
Very nice. It's Shopify.
Oh.
That was a Shopify. I know because
Yeah.
Stand firm. We are not selling any grifting products. It's simply apparel to stand firm, and it's just cool stuff you can wear. 56cents.store. FIVESIX. SENSE.store.
56cents.store right now, and you can collect some of the awesome clothing lines that we have created ourselves.
This shirt will make you 10 times more firm, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Pulling a Billy Carson.
In the bed. It is equivalent to 10 Blue Chew tablets.
Now,
In the fabric is... Okay, never mind.
you think that's funny. His name's Firm. I can't say things are firm around my woman now.
I'm in your head.
He always is.
In your head.
But no, go get a shirt, go get a hat, go get a beanie. It supports.
If you want, yeah. We're not
And
trying
also,
to. We're
it's
not
in
trying
the-
to be.
It's in the font of Star Wars. Anyways, back to the video.
Yeah, we're not doing any of those transitions, but that's okay. I think. There we go. That's 30 minutes. So yeah, we'll end it off now. I just want to give an overview of the Billy Carlson thing. Last thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much already said what I said. I like entertaining these types of things. It's fun to listen to. But when you find out that they're selling snake oil It's now you lose the respect.
It's like a mega church priest selling holy water.
Yeah, I still haven't fully lost respect for Terrence Howard, but Billy Carlson is a little.
Terrence Howard rapped "Whoop That Trick." So
What? He rapped?
yeah, so he made a song where
Did he?
he's oh god,
How
what's
did I
the
not know
song?
this?
Oh, it's one of my favorite movies ever. I can't remember.
In the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you meant like he
was a rapper
he has a
in the
music
movie,
career.
and he made this song called "Whoop." I'll play it for
He
you
was in
after
Iron
the
Man.
session.
Was it not the Iron
The
Man?
first one, yes.
So it was in. He did that in the song.
No. So he
Oh,
was
it's
in
a
a
different
separate movie, and he played a upcoming rapper who was also a pimp, and it was amazing. And
That's
one of
right.
my favorite songs when I was like 12 years old was "Whoop That Trick" by Terrence Howard. So
Okay, that's hilarious. Hell yeah! All right, well, so that's Billy Carlson, and it's time for which we still need. We need to make a nice graphic transition with like a title thing that says "Florida Man of the Week." You know, saying something like that,
like with the Florida.
like a segment transition, because it's time for Florida Man of the Week. In this case, it's Florida Woman actually. Sometimes it's Florida Human of the Week. Sometimes it might be they them. Who
a
knows?
Florida man and a Florida woman.
We haven't had a Florida Trans of the Week yet. I can't wait till that happens. Anyway, Fox 8, June 6th, celebrating D-Day. This was 4 days ago. Florida woman called 911 on herself during attempted carjacking so she could do it legally, deputies say.
Oh my god. Just use your screwdriver properly.
A Florida woman was arrested after she reportedly called 911 on herself while trying to steal a car from a dealership
Oh!
so she could, quote, do it legally. Christy Turman,
Of
37,
course her name is Christy.
called the Lee County Sheriff's Office because she wanted authorities to know,
Wait,
deputies said. You know this woman?
Turman?
Yeah. So,
Continue.
wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Christy, what are you doing, Christy?
Because quote, because I'm trying to steal a car that's not legally mine, Turman said during the 911 call. So y'all better come make a report. I'm reporting this. What is she thinking? Deputies arrived at the dealership a short time later, where they say they found Turman exiting the driver's side of the stolen Toyota Corolla. The 37-year-old told deputies she was being trained in a game of black ops to steal a car, but called authorities to make her carjacking legal. According to the sheriff's office, Turman was arrested and is facing trespassing charges. Not attempted burglary? Or whatever that would be? Grand larceny? Hold on. The 37-year-old told deputies she was being trained in a game of black ops to steal a car, but called authorities to make... Okay, now, this is... I didn't read... I like to keep it fresh when I read it so I can have an authentic reaction. I'm not fully... Do you know what's going on here?
Yeah, I do. She didn't actually do the thing.
She wasn't trying to actually steal it?
It's like imagine this. She's outside of the car looking at the car like, I'm going to steal this car, but let me make sure. Hey, come over here.
No. But what is this thing? She was being trained in a game of black ops to steal a car. But she called it so that it was legal, so that she didn't get into trouble for her training of the game. What is this? What do you... It doesn't say Call of Duty Black Ops. It just says Black Ops.
Black Ops 6 coming to Xbox day of launch. Anyways,
The 37
drugs are a hell of a thing.
She was being trained in a game of black... I mean, maybe that was just like an excuse she made. But she made the decision to call the police as she was doing it.
She's a little old to be repping the set.
This is why... I fully am confused by this now.
All right, I have a theory because I don't know what the fuck is going on either. I have a theory though, so I'm gonna make this reasoning very brief. I had a friend of mine when I was younger. He got out of jail. No one would take him in. The government does not give a fuck about you after you come out of jail. So my theory is she came out of jail, had no one to go to, was going to have a life on the streets, and said, well, I'm gonna go back to jail by doing something, but I don't really feel like doing it. That's
That's,
one theory.
I get that, but I feel like it would have said in the article she had just gotten out of jail if they knew that.
Possibly, yes.
So
Oh, this was in Tampa. Christy, God
no,
damn it.
no, it's Lee. It always does this. It's reporting from Tampa. It's Lee County. I forgot where Lee County
I
is.
forgot too. But Christy, come on.
Um,
But a game of Black Ops, maybe.
a game of was being trained in a game of Black Ops. Hold on, now I want to just quickly ask ChatGPT if it knows what a game of Black Ops is.
Well, while you ask, I just can't believe that she didn't go through with it. But that just makes me think that she was trying to get caught. You know what I mean? Either that or she was on some really good shit that day. It's one or the other. It's either she was trying to get caught or she was trying to do something else. I don't know. I really don't know. But sometimes, what that one guy say? Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, again, I feel like they would report on that if she was all drugged out, but it was a pretty surface level report anyway. So let's see what ChatGPT says.
Oh, she might have been
Could
told.
metaphorically refer to preparing for a covert or secretive, Black Ops operation or task that requires strategic things. So this phrase could be used in various contexts. Corporate environment, preparing for a highly confidential business strategy or meeting where the details need to be kept secret until the right moment. Potential campaign, training campaign staff or volunteers to execute a highly strategic and discreet plan to gain security or law enforcement, preparing for a special operation that requires secrecy, such as a sting operation or an undercover mission, sports, personal development. The term Black Ops emphasizes need for secret. So maybe she was either it's an excuse or she was schizophrenic and had someone in her head saying this is how we train for the Black Ops.
I'm more of on that line.
Or she was trying to become like a private eye, private investigator, and then some guy was like, all right, to train you gotta do this, try to steal a car, but make sure you call the cops so that they know you're not actually stealing it and it's just for training, which is very stupid either way.
Or it could be a
absolutely
dude
dumb.
that dickmatized her and was like, hey,
Yeah, like
I
a
need
Charles
you to
Manson
go
situation.
Steal this car.
Just like Charles Manson gave her acid. It's a new Manson family.
Shit, in Florida?
Drugged her all up and was like, all right, you
Where's
got to
my
train on the
invite?
Black Ops. Hey, I'd love to. I'm ready to join a cult.
That's a
Anyway.
So if you're the cult of Cthulhu, let me know.
The cult, no. The only cult around here is there's no cults. There's just the Church of Jesus Christ of Alien Origin, which I will establish, get tax exemption status, and we will worship Jesus Christ of alien origin, much like Billy
Kim
Carson.
Kardashian. Oh, that one too.
But instead of like a business marketing thing, it would be a church.
Just like
It would be a
Kardashian.
full grift, but it would be tax free.
Oh my God! Who's that one preacher who has like no soul in his eyes?
Oh,
Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen, but the Kenneth Copeland guy, that's the guy on the plane with the planes.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't talk. He goes crazy when they asked about the private jet because
Oh,
he said
yeah, that's who-
he
yep.
doesn't fly with demons in a tube.
Oh, the one that drank blood of another priest.
Maybe. There's a lot of those crazy bastards
I
out
don't
there.
understand.
But yeah, those are all people, much like Billy Carson, to bring it full circle, that take extreme ideas and try to profit off of them in very extreme ways. So
Well-
fun time, fun talk.
So what did we learn today, folks? We learned that if you have some ancient knowledge and you want to share it with people, if you try to, as soon as you try to monetize it and hide it behind a paywall, your credit is disavowed. We don't believe you.
Yeah.
And if you sell some snake oils, what are you doing? We're not in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
We all know what snake oil people are from that game. You know?
Actually, snake oil does give you benefits in Red Dead Redemption.
But the snake oil salesman, doesn't he even fuck you over? Or am I
I
thinking
don't
of a
know,
different game?
but they literally have snake oil that you drink and it helps your, or maybe it's called something. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Billy Carson is a grifter, but he has some cool clothing line if you like that. But don't go buying any colloidal silver now. There's no proof in that working.
Mm-hmm.
And but just one more time, I do very much enjoy the topic that he digs into, but don't fully believe it, and he seems to be completely marketing it for his own profit. That's the conclusion of today. And shout out to Florida Woman of the Week, Christy Turman.
God damn it, Christy.
Christy Turman of Lee County. Thank you all very much for tuning in, watching, or listening on the YouTube or on the audio platforms. If you're on either one, rate, review, comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Have a good week. Talk at you next week. Peace and love.
Christy, did you get arrested?